Alrighty guys, welcome back to another one. We're going to shoot some buckshot here in a minute, quad buck and, number 4 buck combo, but I wanted to show this real quick. Josh made a 3.5 inch double slug plus some buckshot in it too, but we shot it at 42 yards from the lead sled, and well, you see those 2 holes above point of aim? Those 2 Lyman 525s actually just impacted right here, and there is one of the single-aught pellets right here above it. So all in all, that is a 2 3/4 inch pattern this way and 2 inch this way. So guys, be expecting a video on that in the future. Josh has a pretty solid 3.5 inch double slug plus 2 pellets of single-aught load there. I want to know how they do in succession, like multiple. That is pretty cool. So Josh is hanging new paper up, and anyway guys, what I have here today is a 3 inch Shadot haul with 26 grains of little gun, the FS12 gas seal or flex seal, 6 pellets of quad buck, and 16 pellets of number 4 buck. These are all the same except for one of them, which is right here. The number 4 buck is on the bottom, and then we have 6 pellets of quad buck on top, because one of you guys suggested that we try that to see if the smaller pellets on bottom actually pattern better than the ones on top. None of these have any buffer, but we're going to shoot one of these at 10 yards, and then the ones with the reverse order, we'll do that right after to see which one patterns better. And then we'll step off to, 25, 30 yards to see what it does then with a full choke instead of the IC we'll do these 2 with. And then we'll take a couple at longer range just to see how they do in a hunting scenario, but this should be pretty fun. So for the shots at 10 yards, we'll use the Benelli M4 with an improved cylinder choke in it. And then since the 835 is kind of down right now, needs some repairs, we'll use, Josh's uncle has a Benelli Nova. It's a 3.5 inch, but it has a 26 inch barrel. We'll use that for the hunting scenario, if you want to call it that. The M4 also belongs to his uncle. But this should be pretty cool. The Nova's never been on the channel, although we have used it to shoot clays a few times, and it does pretty well at that, as you guys might expect. The Nova's really cool. It does have a magazine cutoff, a button underneath the... I'll show you. That button right... Turn gun, come on. Right there. You press the slide release, which is on the other side of the gun, and that unlocks the magazine cutoff. If you hold the button in when you're cycling it, a shell will not feed, so you can insert something like, if you're shooting birdshot, you can insert buckshot or slug if you want to. It's a really cool feature.
Alrighty guys, I'm starting out first. Mine is the one with the bigger pellets on the bottom instead of on the top. Use a Benelli with an improved cylinder choke. Other than that though, he's done told you what they are. Make sure that thing's seated good. Let's see how it patterns.
Really good.
Seems to be.
The haul is over here in the garden, and to be honest, I didn't see where it landed. Good thing that isn't turned on.
Yep.
Electric fence.
It ain't that bad even if it is.
Zappy, zappy.
Yeah.
Focus camera, come on. There we go. It looks just fine, guys.
Yes.
If I remember right, this is a 1 3/4 ounce payload here. There's no buffer in any of these either. But the pattern is really good. If the camera is all blurry and shaky, I apologize. But there we go. Really good pattern.
All of them are there.
They sure are. All of them are right there. How big's the spread, though?
Well, it seems like we have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 by 9.
9 by 9. So, the one I have is with the pellets in the reverse order. Small pellets on bottom, and then the quad buck on top.
If you're doing it from 10 yards, you want to put it over here?
Yep.
We'll compare the size of them?
I sure will. Won't even patch those up.
Right.
Now, in theory, this one should pattern smaller. So, because we're not patching the holes, I don't know. Might tell us something. Anyway. Let's see. I had the tripod right here. We'll do this with no cuts, guys. There's a dog. We'll have to wait for him.
Get out of the way, Ricky.
This gun needs some oil. I don't know if you guys just saw that, but the bolt did not close on that one. Wait for him to clear the range. When Josh gives me the go-ahead, I'll go ahead. He came back into frame, guys.
Yeah.
We might have to cut this.
Usually they'll cross behind down there. And
okay, it looks like he's clearing range.
Go ahead.
Yep, there he goes. He's out of range, guys. I can't tell from here, but it looks like it might be smaller.
Might be.
I forgot my earplugs, too. I'm not kidding. That was ungodly loud, too.
Looks like they overlapped a little bit.
A little bit it might look like, but we can look back at the camera if we have to and see where the last pellet from the first pattern is if we have to. But let's go check it out. I forgot this gun does hit a little bit left. We never sighted it in.
Yeah, you'll see when we see. Oh, I think there's enough definition.
Yeah. If I remember right, the last pattern pellet from the original pattern was, I believe, this one here, or this one. But anyway, we do have a flyer that time up here. That is actually a flyer. It is totally out of the group. But I'm going to step over here and try to count it. We know that Josh's pattern stopped somewhere right here. So there's 2 quads right there, 2 quads right here, a quad right here, and a quad right here. But anyway, we have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We'll call it 7 by... That one was for sure not part of his. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Not counting that one up there. So it does look like it actually patterned a little bit tighter.
I feel like the pattern's a little bit worse, though.
It is.
You got a whole heck of a lot of hollow spots. My 9x9 was made up with flyers and all.
That is absolutely true. If you look at Josh's right here, it's completely even. About the size of my hand, too. Mine, over here, is very sparse in the middle.
Almost like a donut.
So at least with this 1-to-1 test, it looks like the smaller pellets on top may be the way to go. But again, that is just one test. We will continue to do more of this in the future, see which way is actually better. But guys, Josh can attest to this. We have put this to the test multiple times on and off camera. It doesn't seem to matter with modern guns anyway which order the pellets are stacked in, whether it be the smaller on top or bottom. It doesn't seem to matter, even with birdshot. Josh, he can tell you about that one.
Oh no, I was just going to say, I personally prefer, I like to put my big pellets on bottom and my little pellets on top. I've got conventionally loaded duplex loads that pattern just as well as some of the best store-bought turkey loads there is at 42 yards. Conventionally loaded duplexes with my 4s on bottom and 7.5s on top.
Yep.
I feel like it's a gimmick sometimes, almost like the manufacturers like to switch their words around to hurt the hand loading community. Let's set the standards as this, even though this standard is a false standard.
Right.
That's enough of a rant there. That's just my opinion on it. That's why we like doing these tests.
But yeah, Josh has a turkey load. It's 3.5 inch, but I'm sure it works in any other length and gauge. Where he put, it's just a gas seal, fiber cushion wad, small pellets, and then it has another fiber cushion wad, and then large pellets on top of that, and crimp. And it patterns really good.
Big pellets on bottom.
Yeah, it's big
small
pellets on bottom.
Top.
My bad. But it patterns just like a shell that has a full-length wad, like a TPS or something. It's a really good load, and it has no shot cup. And the pellets in reverse order.
Yeah. You bet hand loads. I want to hear some of your stories of just trial and errors. It's one of the things I like about it.
I like just testing out different shotgun loads in general. Seeing what's true, what's not. There's a lot of just myths around shotgun loads that 99% of the time there is absolutely no truth to it whatsoever. Like you can't shoot slugs, Foster slugs through a full choke. It'll bust your barrel. That may be true if you have a thin barrel or maybe a really, really tight fixed choke or something like that. But, you know, for modern guns, a full choke is nothing for a Foster slug.
Foster slugs are designed to shoot through full chokes. That's why they are a thin base on the back. They obfuscate to the bore, but they can also squeeze to the choke.
That's also partly what the rifling's for. It's there to help the slug squeeze down if it has to.
Right. But I don't know. It gives it the flats and lands, gives it a place to push the mass.
Not only that, but the shorter the barrel you have, the worse or more open the pattern will be. That's not true at all. Barrel length does not affect patterns. Well, 99% anyway. It's 99% of it is in the choke, not the barrel length.
What is it, 12 and a half or 13 inches for most shells to reach
Terminal velocity, or speed of sound, yeah.
Right. That's, after that, it's just riding a rail until it comes through the choke.
Picking up speed. That's all it does. Just build speed. If you step off, say, the end of the muzzle to the patterning board is, say, 20 yards. If you take a shorter barrel, then yeah, you might see a little bit bigger spread because the barrel is, oh, let's call it, well, a few inches shorter. But that's negligible. You would really need a tape measure, not eyeballs, to figure that one out.
Okay, like the old cartoons, or westerns even, you see people with old sawed-off double-barrel coach guns and stuff. And growing up, I always had it in my head for a long time anyways, if I shot that coach gun for, say, at that patterning board in front of me, it's just going to cover the whole entire thing, like just comically blowed out patterns from this close. Well, I've got to play a little bit, and come to find out, if I shot, say, that little sawed-off 12-inch barrel at that patterning board from here, you'd have a 1.5 to a 2-inch hole, and that is it.
Yep.
They don't spread. It don't do nothing else. They bust clays just as good in little short barrels.
We've mentioned this before, but we have actually got to shoot somebody's. It's completely legal, none of that. But 12-inch sawed-off 12-gauge, again, legal. And it's really cool. It busts clays really well, like Josh was saying.
Right. But from here to that patterning board, it's like shooting a rifle at it. It ain't the comical spread, paint the whole entire side of a house with it. No. That don't work. They don't do what you think they do.
No, they don't.
Ow. Alrighty, guys. Same thing we've been shooting. Only difference is we changed the choke out for a mod choke, and we're at 30 yards. And now I've got to go ahead and put that back on. Come on, Oliver. Ricky's down here.
The dogs like to, I don't know what it is, but they like to hang out down there.
I think they think we're shooting at stuff.
Could be. There to that, little stream down there run off from the pond up here.
That could be it too, the overflow.
Yep, they like to drink that water.
Oh. Alrighty, guys. Let's see how this one patterns.
Really dang good. Did you see how slow that gas seal traveled down there?
Yeah. Hole's right there. I ain't even chasing it.
Right. These look good. But yeah, that pattern looks pretty dang good, guys. And I seen that gas seal smack the paper a solid 2 or 3 seconds after he fired.
Damn it!
So Josh says 6x12. I say 7x15.
It is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Damn it. By 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. I missed it by 2 inches all around.
8x14?
Yep, I said 6x12.
We were both wrong. There's one flyer out there.
Yeah.
I don't know if you call that one a flyer. I guess we can.
14, 15, 16, 17, 18.
But guys, that pattern is honestly not a lot worse than it was at 10 yards with an IC choke.
That'd be destruction on a whitetail.
Yeah, now I think at 42 with the full, we're not going to see much of a difference between that. Several of those actually impacted point of aim too. Look at that. Again, the gun does hit a little bit left and maybe a little bit low. We know that. Right. We'll get it sighted in. Darn now though. Alrighty guys, we're down here at 42 yards again with the Benelli Nova, which is a 3.5-inch chamber 12 gauge. And we have a full choke in it, which measures 6.95.
My dog is downrange again.
Which one?
Ollie.
Ah. Alright, we'll wait for him to clear.
You're good.
Alrighty guys, where's the safety? There it is. I'm not used to the Nova. I ain't really shot it that much, so the controls are kind of awkward for me. But, here we go. Knocked my monster over. Good thing it's empty. Here's the hull. It looks just fine, other than the quad buck tearing it up.
Quad buck left a pecker track? Yep.
Left a what?
Nothing. Looks good though.
Hey, I just noticed the Nova has a double bead. Has a mid bead and a front sight fiber optic. That's cool. So guys, it looks like the gas seal may have failed on that one. I don't know if the mics picked it up, but it had a weird hollow crack to it. So we think the gas seal failed. So we'll give it another shot. Because this pattern's horrible. It's all over the place.
No consistency whatsoever.
Nope. Alrighty guys, so Josh had to run up to the house for a second. So I'll shoot his shot for him. This is the same thing. But let's see if this one could fare any better. That gas seal did fail. We actually managed to find it. And if we still have it, I think Josh threw it. We'll show it on camera. But anyway. That one sounded like it failed too. I'm not sure if you guys saw that down there, but the quad buck cut a tree branch down. That's about 70 yards out too, that tree is. Wow. Anyway, let's go look at that. Let me find the hull real quick or take it out of the chamber. This one looks fine. It didn't melt the hull or destroy it at all. But anyway, let's look at that pattern. So yeah, that one, the gas seal failed too. I don't know what's going on. But if I had to make a suggestion or prediction, whatever, these would be better off roll crimped and put a nitro card over top the Flex Seal. That way the quad buck doesn't puncture it. Because that's what's going on here. As you guys can see, that's a pretty wide pattern. It's pretty much side-to-side coverage. So that's not good, but, sorry guys. I didn't know the FS12 could ever fail like that, but it is. And I can't find that other gas seal. I've looked and looked everywhere. The other one, we did find it, and it did fail. Josh chucked it over there, and I don't think I'll ever be able to find it. It's in the creek, probably. But yeah, guys, if you plan on, putting some of these together, I would definitely just use a nitro card over top of the FS12 and just roll crimp these. It honestly would probably be the way to go because, as you may or may not have seen, some of the hulls were dimpled out just a little bit from the quad buck. It is what it is. But overall, I mean, they did pattern really, really well. Aside from the two at 42, the gas seals failed. I don't know why either. Because they didn't out of the Benelli, or the M4. But they did fail out of the Nova, which is also a Benelli.
Alrighty, guys.
So, this is not shotgun related at all. But we have a Mosin here. It's Josh's Romanian M44. And there's an 8-inch steel plate out there at 100 yards. Now, Josh has dropped a bunch of deer with this rifle at roughly the same distance. So, he's telling me that point of aim is pretty much dead on. So, if that's true, I should be able to hit this plate no problem.
You're good.
Right above it.
Just a fuzz. I forgot how loud that thing is.
Yeah, it's loud. All right, Josh. Let's see if you can hit it.
I'm going to sit down here in this light side, guys. I ain't going to lie.
Alrighty.
I need a shell, buddy.
It's on the table.
Is it? I see it. I forgot how loud this daggone thing is.
Yeah, it's loud. Even with earplugs in, it'll ring your ears. Because my ears are ringing, and I have earplugs in.
Mine are too.
Alright, anyway. Pan this out real quick. Show you Josh is sitting down here at the table. And I think, yeah, you can see the plate way off over here to the right. Pan over here just a little bit so you can see it better, hopefully. We'll try to get you and the plate in the shot.
Put the safety on this duel. That's got. Oh man, I fell off the board. Dang it! Oh, I should have just offhanded it and missed. But it's so much less complicated than this.
Yep. Technical difficulties, guys. Anyway, if you don't know, we really, really like Mosins.
Yes. And if you don't know, this is one of the rarest variants.
It is, yeah. It's a Romanian M44. They're pretty rare.
If I can't hit it in a sled, we got bad problems.
Yeah.
I should have never shot at a deer with it if I can't hit this thing in a sled.
How many deer have you dropped with that thing?
10 or 12.
That's what I figured.
By the time I got done, well, not really got done, but I hunted with my Papa's 35 Remington for a long time. It's a Marlin 336 CS. And then I got this one. This is my first beater, so I drug it around a while. And then about the time I got real good and really liking this one, I got my other Papaw 742 Woodsmaster. So
30-06.
yeah, in 30-06. So this one had a short reign of terror.
Short reign of terror, but very loud bark.
Oh boy, I'm telling you, it's got a. It likes to speak. It's got a nice, loud speaking voice, is what I tell everybody that shoots it.
Oh man, it zipped right past it.
I killed your can of snuff.
Oh well.
How did I miss that?
Hold on, I gotta show you guys something.
Like, I barely missed that.
Yeah, I did too. But I had a can of snooze laying over here, and it was like right here, and the lid was on it, and the muzzle blast blew it over, knocked the lid off.
It rolled that 525 lineman down the table.
Yeah, guys, the muzzle blast off these M44s, and I guess M38s too, it's no joke.
Short barrel and 54R. I love that round. That's one of my favorite rifle rounds.
It is my favorite rifle round.
We are shooting junk. Well, I grabbed a couple. This was a challenge. It started out on my front porch up here. It's like 150, 160 yards to the plate, but the brush has grown up now. You couldn't really see it. So I said, we'll carry it down here. That's why we only had 2 shots. It was just a random thing.
We were digging for a certain shell in his gun closet. It's a 12 gauge 3.5, and we found, that's it right there, actually, Babbitt. Anyway, we found 2 54R shells, and we just wanted to shoot the Mosin. Unfortunately, we couldn't hit the plate, but the gun is very capable of it. We've done it before.
Yeah. That'd have been a deer. We'd both killed the deer there. Like, I missed top edge, he missed top edge. I don't know. It's a cool gun.
It is a cool old gun.
It's got a nice trigger in it, too.
It's a 54, ain't it?
Yeah, I believe so.
Yep, 1954 Romanian.
It's got a nice trigger in it. If you watch the bolt back here, like, usually whenever you pull the, I know I'm not supposed to dry fire this, but usually, like, whenever you shoot a Mosin, that bolt will raise up, like, you'll physically be able to watch it come up and go down. When you do a trigger job in them, that's basically what you're eliminating, it's a take up in it. So as I'm pulling the trigger, instead of it traveling up, it come down ever so slightly, and there's the brake.
Yep, it's got a very light trigger in it.
That's my own doing, though, with the help of Iraq veteran 88. Watched him do one, and I had to do it then, so.
It's actually fairly easy to do.
Yeah, broke it all down and dirty.
Good old, well, no, this is not corrosive ammo.
No, that was a Tula.
Yeah.
That wasn't nothing. Usually whenever I'm hunting with this thing all the time anyways, I was running 175 grain S&Bs. Cellular and Belliker, however the hell
Cellier
you say it.
and below, I believe.
And this thing absolutely loved them. The other cool thing about the Mosins, they've actually got a built-in safety.
They do.
Of course, a lot of people around here don't know it. Let me let that down. But anyways, when you cock it, that comes back. You can grab it and pull it to the side. Yep. And the trigger is now inert. It is dead.
Yep.
You can bring it, pull it back over, and I'm going to let it ride down. But pull it down. Or you can do this. Let's see, where's it at?
Right there.
Right there. It also rides the pin down so it don't drop around or fire around. I don't trust it enough to do it.
It won't fire the round, but you know what will happen? If you do that with a round in the chamber, if you hit the back of the bolt right there, it'll go off. From luxury to workhorse. I guess you can call that a workhorse too. But anyway, guys, very fun video. The quad buck and 4-buck patterned all right, except for the failures. But it was fun nonetheless.
Yes, nonetheless, but nevertheless, it's always less.
The failures were less. But anyway, guys, thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one.
Cue outro.